Hello, this is SolidarityCard, an inclusive approach to the cashless future. We believe that we should include citizens from all socioeconomic levels in the development of a more collaborative, dignified, open, and resilient society. We should provide homeless and undocumented people with money for their basic needs so they may be liberated from short-term thinking and lead a fulfilling existence. Knowing the face, name, and story of homeless and undocumented people will give us the opportunity to care for them as true members of our community. Use of blockchain technology will enable a reduction of operational costs and improve transparency. Adoption of a DAO structure and bounty mechanisms means that anyone in the world can be part of the solution. Have you seen this happen? I know in the last few years it happens all the time. People around the world are quickly going cashless, but the most vulnerable and marginalized population groups are often excluded from participating in this new economy. In developed economies, where the majority is reasonably well served by the traditional system, there is no rush to upgrade all current infrastructure. Even if cryptocurrency point-of-sale payment terminals are available today, they probably won't reach massive adoption before at least 5 years. And what about this? You see the children? Homeless and undocumented people are mostly a statistic we hear in the news and quickly forget. We walk past them in the street without even seeing them. Most social programs today are bureaucratic processes that infantilize people by not giving them any choice in the use of funds nor expecting them to be responsible with their freedom. Our world is increasingly polarized. We see those that don't belong to our group as unknown enemies to outcompete, instead of potential friends with whom to build. Solution? So Solidarity Card is a debit card for homeless and undocumented people that enables them to directly receive cashless donations and then use this money in all present-day stores without the need of a smartphone. How? Well, it's a debit card. It works on MasterCard or Visa networks, and it has a QR code that leads to the beneficiary's profile, and it can only be used in contactless payments. It has also a very handy hole here to connect it to a lanyard and put it around your neck. How does it work? Well, let's click on it. Here's what happens when if you meet a homeless person in the street with a solidarity card and you scan their QR code, it will take you to the homeless person's profile page. If a friend of yours posted online that they just donated to a homeless person via Solid Card and you click on the link, it will take you to the homeless person's profile page. You can see the card number at the top of the profile. You can see their photo, their name, and their birth date. You can make a donation with fiat or crypto. You can subscribe to make monthly donations. You can see all the quantitative data about how much money they have received and how close they are to reaching the target minimum income, which we consider to be an amount with which any person in the world could live without constantly worrying about the future. You can see how much money they have received during the last 24-hour, 7-day, 1 month, or 3-month ranges. You can see who has donated most recently to this person. if they are new donors or if they are crazy serial donors. The little badges are ways to signal how many donations they have made, not the amount of money. So if someone has made 1,000 little donations, they'll have a higher level than someone who made one huge donation. This is a way to incentivize engagement from the donors. If you click here, you can see all the transactions related to this person. You can see when, how much, and from whom they received recently. Of course, some donors may choose to remain anonymous. You can also see when, where, and you can also see when, where, and how much they've spent recently. Okay, we click here and go back to the previous screen. I'm sure you're curious about these three little green check marks. Let's figure out what they mean. If you click here, you can see the card number and the blockchain address linked with this card. You can see the date and the time this card was activated. You can see who were the activators of this card. And finally, you can see links to all the videos in which the person states their name and their birth date. All this data is referenced in the blockchain address linked with this card until the end of time. Let's go back again. Doesn't this little thing next to the photo look like a play button? Of course it does. If you click here, you can see the monthly update videos that go all the way back to the activation video. These videos are recorded by activators that meet with the person and ask them some simple questions to figure out how they're doing. Who can be an activator, you say? Well, anyone with a smartphone and some free time can be an activator. And if that isn't awesome enough for you, perhaps you should also know that activators are rewarded with some crypto tokens for each monthly update video they record. The beneficiaries are also rewarded in fiat that they can easily spend with their card without having to understand anything about crypto. Okay, cool. I think now you get the idea. And last but not least, there's a city under the birthday. If you click here, you can see all the members of the local community, as well as all the people that have donated to them. You can see some of the most interesting monthly updates. And obviously, you can choose to donate to everyone in that local community. We think this is very nice. Alright, let's continue with the boring part of our presentation. So, what makes SolidarityCard different from other solutions? Well, SolidarityCard is usable without a government ID, thanks to our activation process. It's usable without a bank account and without a stable home. Without a smartphone, without constant access to electricity, without remembering complex codes, and importantly, without forcing merchants and stores to upgrade all payment terminals. So it can be used today. So, what are the restrictions? Each card can only receive up to 2,000 euros monthly. Only up to 100 euros can be spent daily. And you cannot make any ATM withdrawals, so you cannot use cash. The system has three main different kinds of users. the beneficiaries, which are homeless and undocumented people, activators, which activate cards and record monthly updates videos, for which they are rewarded with crypto, and donors, which make lots of tax-deductible donations because all of these donations are documented on the blockchain and transparent, unlike giving cash to someone on the street. How does the activation work? Well, let's go through this quickly. If you want to be an activator, you sign up with your email and phone, you verify your identity and address, you order a 10-pack SolidarityCard activator kit, you wait a couple of days for them to arrive, you watch the activator course videos, you go to the street and meet a beneficiary, and then use your smartphone to scan the QR code of the card you want to activate. You log into your activator account, you fill in the beneficiary's birth date and name, you take and upload a photo of the beneficiary, you record a video of them saying their name and birth date, you post the video to all your social networks with a message that includes the SolidarityCard address. And the links to these videos will be sent as proof of identity to the SolidarityCard others, as we saw previously in the demonstration. And optionally, you can record more short videos, just like the monthly updates, where you talk with the beneficiary about their life. And then if you're really motivated, you can join the Solidarity DAO. So what happens when you donate to one person? Well, either you meet the person in the street or you see a link that someone posted on social media and you go to their profile, and there you sign up with your email and phone. Then you decide if you want to donate with crypto or fiat. If you donate with fiat, you can donate with a card or a bank transfer. If you donate with crypto, you can use any modern cryptocurrency. And what happens then is this money gets immediately transformed into fiat and deposited into the beneficiary solidarity card. And we take a small fee for the development of the platform. What happens if you donate to a community? Well, you choose the community that you want to donate to, and then you decide whether it's crypto or fiat. And then something different happens. Your donation goes into a smart contract which uses our DAI, and during 2 weeks it will be earning interest. At the end of the 2-week period, the interest will go to the Solidarity DAO Development Fund, and the full donation that you initially made gets distributed to all the beneficiaries in the community. How do we make money? Well, it's pretty much what I just said. You donate to one person and we take a fee, and the rest is given to the beneficiary, or you donate to a community, in which case we get interest for 2 weeks and the full donation goes to the beneficiary. How do you measure impact? In the monthly update videos, we ask the beneficiaries questions around these 3 topics: humanize, stabilize, and reconnect. So, how do you feel about engaging with people around you? Do you feel that people interact with you in a different way? Do you feel more confident about your capabilities? Do you feel that your basic needs are being met? What can you buy now that you couldn't buy before? Do you feel less depressed? Do you feel more secure? Did you use your money to support friends and family? Did you use your money to build something? Do you feel that you can contribute to society? With how many new people have you felt connected? And for the people that like numbers, we have the KPIs for success, also divided by beneficiaries, activators, and donors. So what? The number of lives changed, which is our main thing. number of daily active beneficiaries, number of total beneficiaries, average weekly and monthly income, percentage of target minimum income received, activators, number of monthly activators, number of recurrent activators, number of total activators, number of donating activators, use frequency, and number of monthly active donors, number of recurrent donors, number of total donors, use frequency, average donation amount per donation, and total amount donated. The target market and opportunity is 150 million homeless in the world, 200,000 homeless in France, out of which 2,000 die every year, and most die before the age of 50. 30% of those do not have a smartphone. In Paris, there is 10 to 15,000 homeless. 4.5 thousand homeless in Paris do not have a smartphone. Roadmap. So, this is first quarter of this year, and those are the things we have already accomplished. We saw define the scope of the project, write requirement specification and non-goals, write functional specification, and create interactive mockup, which you saw before. And these are the things that we need to do in the future. Conduct user interviews using the interactive mockup, create content to attract open source community and grow the team, participate in Gitcoin grants, create a working code prototype, conduct user interviews using the working code prototype, write formal technical specification and test it, assemble group of partner organizations, collaborate with local government in a 2,000 card pilot project, apply for the European Social Fund, start coding, audit code, and launch communication and crowdfunding campaign. The team is Juan Diosdado, who is a creator of experiences, images, and stories, a shared narratives cultivator, holistic designer, perpetual learner, social dreamer. He's also a writer-director interested by the power of narratives to touch the emotional fiber of individuals and drive social change. Pauline Desmortins is a freelance psychomotor therapist, illustrator, screenwriter, and choreographer. She is an autodidact and likes to explore meaningful projects. She feels concerned about this issue because she has a brother who lived on the streets for a few months. So, you may have some questions. Everyone has questions. And these are some of the most frequent of them. How can we be sure that beneficiaries won't have more than one card? Well, since every beneficiary is publicly listed in the local community page, so during the activation process, we would know if that person already has a card. This could be automated through facial recognition. How can we be sure that beneficiaries won't use the money for alcohol or drugs? We expect people to be responsible for themselves and think alcohol or drugs should not be only for rich people. However, since the cards can only be used for contactless payments and ATM withdrawals are not possible, buying drugs without cash would be quite hard. What happens if beneficiaries lose their cards or they are robbed? They can ask anyone with internet access to report this on their profile. They can also record a video explaining what happened. We can then block the card to ensure no additional charges are made until it gets recovered. And in the meantime, we can get them a new card. So, instead of talking about competition, we would like to talk about some projects that inspire us, like Blockstack, Keybase, and Uport for the way they use the Web of Trust model through social networks, the Bounties Network for showing us a better way to reward people for their work, Give Directly for trusting in people to make the best decisions with their money, Gitcoin for implementing quadratic funding to empower open source builders, SolidarityCard for making an easy way to finally spend crypto in the real world, Pull Together for turning saving money into a game where nobody loses, RDAI for giving us a glimpse of the magical things that are possible with decentralized finance. Acknowledgements, well, we would like to thank, huge thanks for Sonia Ganes for all her help. So, this was SolidarityCard. And you can reach us in these addresses or send us an email. Thank you.